I did a poll and people wanted me to do Dronfield rather than Bradford. I will do Bradford, but I'd rather do it on a sunny day myself anyway. But there you've got Dronfield Woodhouse up the hill. I'm just parked up there. It's just really one big housing estate, isn't it, Dronfield Woodhouse? There's a few little bits, but not much. But my auntie lived up there and my uncle, and they've just passed away in the last 6 months. Now I popped up there, I thought I'll see if where the old Talbot Arms was. That's gone. I can't even find where my auntie and uncle lived up there anymore, so that was my bearings, the Talbot Arms. So let's have a walk down. I think it's the Gosforth Valley, but also the town centre as well. There's one thing probably people remember around here, and it's now called Angling Direct, but it was a nightclub. Still looks the same building. But I can't believe the number of cars. I've just walked down a really short journey, and I can't understand that there's nobody else walking down from Dronfield Woodhouse into Dronfield. It's just a stream of cars, but that, I'm sure, is where the old nightclub was. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'll give you another angle on that in a moment. But up here, as far as I remember, I think it's on Reeks Lane. Used to be a company called Land Pyrometers. Can anybody remember Land Pyrometers? Made thermocouples for furnaces. I'll just show you over here. So that's Angling Direct now, not a nightclub. And we've got Cafe Climax. It's absolutely snided with cars, as you can see. So you can see down the railway line, I'll find the station, and I think you can just see the spire of the church up there. I don't know whether I'll do this as two separate videos or not. We've got the football ground just down here, but I can't believe the traffic. It's just snided. Sake of a 5-minute walk down into town for a lot of people, I bet. So we're outside the home of football at the moment, Sheffield Football Club, and there's a pub just round the corner. Now I might see if I can have a quick walk round the ground and show it you, but that'll be a separate video. So we're right outside the football ground. Got the Coach and Horses pub. So that's a better angle on the Coach and Horses, you can see. So just looking at this, is parking for patrons for the Coach and Horses just here, and the parking's behind the ground. So I don't know what this contraption is here. Let's have a look. So it's a ladle for the town's foundry. Nice to see a bit of history around. But at some stage the football ground's moving just up the road, just into Sheffield, so it's just the dual carriageway to the big roundabout. And that's where they're moving. Well, that's where they're hoping to move. I'm not sure if they're going to be open for me filming the ground, but I can always have a word, can't I? Got nothing to lose, because you don't see much from outside the ground at any of these football grounds anymore. So you've got the parking round the back, and when I first started watching Sheffield Football Club, the parking was free. And I came one week and they were charging. I never came again. So that's a bit of a disappointment. I'll have another knock on the door later, but there's loads of cars around but nobody's home. So you can see it was formed in 1857. Now there is a derby in the Sheffield and Hallamshire Cup between Hallam and Sheffield. It's already sold out. The match was cancelled this week, and I assume it'll be next week. But it only holds 1,500 Hallam. Dinnington Town, where I live, it holds 2,500, and it's got very few stands. So I think it's the cricket pitch that's the issue there. But let's have a walk down here. So I'm not really sure where Cosforth Valley is. I actually thought it was this road that ran along here, but I'm wrong. This must be Dronfield along here. So let's have a walk along it. So you can see we've still got a petrol station here. I think it's about 134 where I live, petrol. So other than going to Dronfield Woodhouse, I've never really had a lot to do with Dronfield itself, other than coming to a nice Italian restaurant here once. I'm not even sure if it exists anymore. So carpets and floor here. Seems to be a lot of modern builds along here. So another car place here. So this is a little bit of an industrial estate. I think there's a little bit as you go up the hill into Dronfield Woodhouse on the left if you turn off. But if you carry along this road, it's Sheffield Road, there's a lot of industrial units right at the end. I didn't realise there were so many industrial units in Dronfield. So you can see that's Joseph's bathrooms. But I wonder how many people get out of the cars and actually walk around and see what's going on. I've driven the probably about 18 miles here. But if I'm at home, I tend to walk, even if it's a mile or two. So I think this may be the Italian restaurant I once came to a long time ago, about 20 years ago. It was really expensive, I know that. I'm not sure how people can afford to eat out. Well, our pubs are supposed to have closed down because they're too expensive, but then they become even more expensive restaurants a lot of the time. So I don't quite understand that. If the pubs had sold food, etc., they could have quite easily survived, but for some reason they become more expensive restaurants. That seems to defy logic to me. So we've got a big Aldi here as well. All this looks like new developments all the way along here. Can anybody confirm, is this the Gospel Valley bit, or is it somewhere else? Because it doesn't make sense to me. This seems like a long valley. So we've got another Mediterranean restaurant. I'm not sure if this was an old pub. It's called Zeus now, but if pubs are closing down because they're too expensive, how can they become even more expensive restaurants? There's still quite a lot of wooded land here in the middle, as you can see, down the side of the railway. But was this once the industrial area? Was the foundry actually down here? And then has the foundry been knocked down and turned into all these modern units? Because that's what it's looking like to me. The population of Dronfield's about 20,000, I understand. It's grown from about 6,000 in 1945 to 20,000, 21,000 now. And really it's just a commuter belt, commuter town. Now, I remember my manager at work always saying they came from Sheffield, but he didn't really want to live in Sheffield because of the actual cost of living in Sheffield with the council taxes, because this is just in Derbyshire. So I think probably most people in Dronfield probably work in Sheffield, or did work in Sheffield. For some reason the town's not in Sheffield. I mean, I personally have no problem living my town coming under Sheffield if it wasn't the council tax that you're paying and the commies that's running Sheffield. Be quite happy to have my area under Sheffield rather than Rotherham. So this will take us into the old town centre of Dronfield, and I'll go up there in a moment, but I'll capture the rest down here, and also I'm looking for the train station as well. There's supposed to be an old bridge that's been closed down, a wooden bridge, and I signed a petition to preserve it or have a replacement, and I should be able to capture that today. I don't think I've seen any buses at all. Park area here. This looks so much nicer than the modern builds, doesn't it? I don't think I've even driven along here, not till my auntie's funeral, and I came to the Green Dragon pub. Have I ever actually even driven along here? So that's the bridge in. But is that even open as a pub anymore? Because it don't look it to me, but correct me if I'm wrong, that looks not very open. So this is originally the entranceway to the foundry, so I thought this area must have been a foundry where they build all the new units. And there's some sort of, well, they must have actually moved it away from there, because I don't think this is the original site, is it? So you can stop the screen and have a look at that. But I want to get along this main road before I get into the town centre and show you the church. Date on that up there. So that's bar and restaurant. I don't know what the building was originally, if that's another pub. Was that another pub at one bit? Alright, so I just had a chat with that gentleman. It's his wife's beauty business, Base and Beauty, just there. He's just put a new sign on it. Must be going up there. But just notice hardly anybody walking around at all. Now, I went to America. I didn't have a car in America. I got driven around, but I walked a lot, and that's the first time I noticed this really high reliance on cars, and the Americans were just looking at me going, "Hell, walking," as though what's somebody walking for? But even the modern builds have been kept a bit in character. I've just got the train station behind me, but I just want to show you this side. But we are about 12 o'clock on a Saturday, lunchtime. That's another one of them barbers, isn't it? And it's a lack of people walking about. Town of 20,000 people. Now, I'm not into government bringing in laws to force people out of the cars, but at the end of the day, people don't help themselves either. So what's this fish and chip shop like? The Village Fisheries fish and chip shop. I'll have to have a look at, put my nose in that later. So that's Princess Buildings, 1873, but so we've got Princess Road up there. But I was told Dronfield would be boring. I'm sorry folks, but it's not exactly boring to me. It's just starting to glimpse the church on the left and the station's just there. I'm sure I missed somewhere, but I did come through on Thursday and it was a nice sunny day on Thursday, and I thought, do I film it? But the light was dropping. I thought there's an awful lot more in Dronfield than for an half an hour video. I didn't realise how big the town centre was. So that's Dronfield and Emery Fanshawe School, by the looks of it, just there. Beautiful old building. So we're now on Chesterfield Road. Green Lane up there, you can see another angle on the nice school. Across the road. So we've got a post office here. I'm just going to switch round. If there's any old pubs that's disappeared, oh, that's the old bank, that one. We've not even got into the main part of Old Dronfield. Can't believe I've lived here all my life, and well, in Sheffield all my life, and never been in a proper town of Dronfield. So the pub back there was definitely flats. Now, so this one's definitely open, isn't it? Dronfield Arms. Can anybody tell me where Dronfield Legs are? It's so oldie worldy. So I don't know what that is. It says free house on it, but then it says repair service in sharpening, so I don't know. But I think at the end of here it hits the modern industrial estates. I just want to show and document what's left of Dronfield. I think sometimes people don't appreciate what they've got. But I certainly don't want my country turning into America. I've been there, I'm never going back. But I can't believe how long this road is. I'm hoping this is about the end of it, and I can turn back, show you the station and the real heart of Dronfield. So I'm not going to carry along this road any further. I think this will eventually come to sort of modern industrial estates. But it's like one long valley. And I thought this was the Gospel Valley, but correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm going to now show you the train station and the older part of Dronfield. So we've got a little river tucked away down there. I'm just shocked with the size of the place. For a population of only 20,000, and the old part of Dronfield exists from a long time ago when the population were only 6,000. So it's a town centre as well. So I'm not going to get accused of putting Dronfield town centre on it. So we're now in the town centre again. People get really upset about whether it's a village or a town. Now, Anston's got a bigger population than Dinnington, and it's called a village, whereas Dinnington is called a town. Make that one up. It's just what somebody calls it. But I'm guessing there's so many shops have gone from this town centre area. So we've got the White Swan. I'm probably only going over the surface of this. To me, places like this can look absolutely glorious with a little bit more TLC. Just looking at the sign there, it looks like you've got delivery service here. Opening hours. So I drove through the other day and I did find some parking, but I can imagine that parking's going to be pretty difficult at this time because I was coming through Dronfield quite late. But somebody's mentioned that there's a couple of mini roundabouts, I think, in the middle of Dronfield, and it's a bit of a nightmare for a cyclist, even for car drivers. So we've got a proper DIY place here. Like use it or lose it. Behind the van, tucked behind the van, I think there's a bakery there. There's a bakery still open. Bakery and coffee shop next to the Go Local Extra. Got like a little bit of a wellness centre there. We'll come back up to the station now. So we've got a deli just there. Another barber shop. I've seen 2 barber shops so far in Dronfield. I think where I live we've got 5 Turkish barbers. So we've got the train station just here. So Sheffield Road must have become Chesterfield Road a while ago. We'll pop into the station. I just want to show you this old-fashioned wooden bridge up here. Now I've signed a petition for it to be preserved. I think there's been complaints that people are using it as a shortcut and it might be dangerous. I don't think it's that dangerous personally. So have a look. I'm sure I'd risk it if I was allowed to. So you've got a ladies and gents toilets. Now that, to me, that's a basic human right. But it looks like the ladies is actually locked up. So you can go if you're a guy, but you can't if you're a lady. What's going off there? Is it not safe for ladies to use the toilets and that's why it's closed? I don't know. Or is there a maintenance issue? So this looks like a ticket office of some kind. Or was a ticket office, because they don't like you paying cash much nowadays, do they? So you've got your car park down there by the looks of it. I'll just have a quick look at what the cost is. So that's not a bad price, that's £2. A daily charge up to 2 hours £1. I'm not going to grumble at that one. So another bit of remembrance to the coal industry around here. I'll have a quick walk on top of this bridge and show you the view from up here. So as train station goes, it's a little bit better than a awful bus shelter, isn't it? So that train going in the distance was off to Nottingham. As modern stations go, it looks quite nice. I just wonder if there are a lot more buildings around it at one bit. So you can see it, that was the 1316 to Nottingham on time. So just here we've got Chiverton House. I'm not going to be able to show you a lot of it, but it does look a nice building. Take a bit to eat, I bet though. So it looks like the main structure's still okay, but you can see there, it's gone a bit wrong there. if you can see it as well as me there, you can see it's gone a bit rotten. But most of the main structure they can probably fix it. But it's just the area that you walk along. In fact, yeah, some of it wants fixing where it's gone a bit rotten like that. Other things are okay. But somebody's going to have to think about it, aren't they? Because it's one of them jobs. Doesn't look like something out of IKEA, does it? Got the river running underneath. I just wanted to show it you. But what I'm probably going to do at this point is ask you to like the video, follow the channel, and click on notifications for new videos. And what I'll do is I'll do another video of the town centre itself.